Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. In today's video, I am going to be reviewing or using rather, I'm not really going to be reviewing it. I am finally going to be using my Conspiracy palette. I've had this for a good little while. I initially purchased it on launch day through Beautylish. I got it, no problems. And it's a funny thing with the Jeffree Star palettes that are like this. I had my blood sugar palette for almost a year before I used it because I just could not bring myself to use it. I know that there have been 5 million videos on this palette, so I'm really just kind of going to do a chit chat, get ready with me, and use this super pretty palette. It's just, I think that it's just really pretty. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I just kind of want to use it. So I may do just a neutrals look. I know, how boring, right? But who knows? So if you are interested in this chit chat, get ready with me, then stick around because we're gonna start getting into it right now. Hopefully by now, and I'm posting in the correct order. Sometimes that happens. My last video should have been my reveal for my new beauty room. So we switched rooms and this is the setup. So I'm kind of interested to see how it looks filming wise. So if the lighting is not just right, extend some grace and I'll try to get it fixed. So I'm gonna start off by priming my face, and I'm just gonna let this sit. For primer, I'm gonna be using the Farsali, the Unicorn Essence. I really like this. I love the smell of this, and I think I'm almost out of this, which I didn't think that I would ever go through a whole thing, but I guess you do. I'm still trying to figure out where I've put everything because I am a lot more spread out, so I may be looking all over for things. Where the hell is my primer? For my pore area, like around my nose, I'm gonna be using this Clarins. This is the Instant Smooth Perfecting Touch. This stuff is really good. It reminds me a lot of my Tarte, the Poreless Perfector, I think it's called. Feels the exact same. It doesn't feel like it pills as easily, if that makes sense. So what I've been doing is I'm gonna go ahead and let my primer just kind of sit a little bit, and we're gonna move on to eyes, mainly because I really just want to use this palette. So to prime my eyelids, I am gonna just use my Jeffree Star concealer. I can't find my ColourPop one, which is no surprise because everything kind of got flipped-flopped. This is color C10. And I am gonna go in, and I changed my brush holder. So this could be a process. I'm just gonna go in and I put it on the back of my hand. I use a small brush. This is the Luxie 246 Precision Crease. And I always carve out underneath my brows. And then I just kind of bring that down. All right. This hair is not working. The first shade I'm gonna go into, obviously I would naturally gravitate towards Tannicon, which is like the tan shade. Isn't that cute? But I'm gonna dip into pigment, this pink right here. And I am using a Morphe 518, and it kills me to mess up the little piggy, but I think that's super cute. Ooh, this color. Oh, that's really pretty. I have no idea what eye look is gonna happen here, just to let you know. It's not as, I don't want to say fluorescent because that's not the right word. It's not as vibrant as I thought of it, and that's okay. That's definitely not a negative. I thought it was gonna be a little too much, but it's really, really pretty. Of course, I am a pink and purple eyeshadow look. I like the berry tones, so this is right where in kind of my wheelhouse for sure. I wasn't sure if this would be super wearable or not, but it really is. All right, so next I'm gonna dip into Flaming Hot, which is this one over here. And I'm still using the same brush. And I'm just gonna pack that on the outer corner. To deepen the outer corner, I am gonna go into Not a Fact, which is this dark plum colored shade. It's almost like a burgundy plum, and I'm still using the same brush. I like how this brush is performing with the shadows, so we'll see if it continues to do that. And I'm just putting this right on this outer V area. All right, so we have that blended, and I'm going to attempt a cut crease. I don't know, I feel like I haven't done my makeup in so long. Okay, so for my cut crease, I'm gonna use my Tarte Shape Tape. I haven't used this in a minute, but I feel like it's a little bit lighter, so it might give me more of what I want to do here. It might be a little easier, so let's see. And you can see, because I do have hooded lids, it does transfer up. So that's why my crease actually, when I do the cut, it goes a little bit higher, but that's just what we have to do. So, I could just actually white out my lids and leave it like this, but I would like to use a little bit more of what's in here. Actually, I find that with how my lids are hooded, it's almost as difficult as doing winged liner. So I think I want to do something a little different. I think I'm going to use this green, this Conspiracy. I want to try that. It could be a complete disaster, but it's makeup, it wipes right off. All right, so for this, I'm gonna be using my favorite packing brush. This is the Luxie 209, the large shader brush. I find that this picks up so well. I mean, because it's pretty dense. And then I'm just going to pat that right on. And I'm just putting it right over where that concealer is. Obviously a little different, but I really wanted to use some different color, or at least have a pop of a different color. But this green's actually, it's really pretty. It's very shimmery. Sorry if I was holding the mirror up over my face. So I'm gonna go back in with the original brush I was using, and I'm going to use Not a Fact right out here and just kind of dust those two together so it's not a real harsh gradient, and that's going to kind of give me a different middle color. And again, I know that it doesn't maybe look as perfect because like this one right here, it looks like it went a little bit higher. That's just kind of dependent upon how your eye falls. It doesn't really bother me because you can only see it kind of right there, but it is what it is. But what I am going to do, or if that's how you're doing your makeup and you're not okay with that, I'm going to take a small little detail brush. This is a Morphe E36, and I normally use this for my inner corner. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of that Flaming Hot color and just lightly pack that on there. And I'm actually going to trace very lightly over the edge of where that green meets, so it gives me a little bit more of a blend. So that's a pretty good tip. If you are a hooded eye struggler like myself, and you really like the cut creases, but you might have some problem with how detailed or lack of details that you can seem to get, you know, there's always a workaround. You just kind of have to be patient, and you know, this is not a 5-minute makeup look. I really like the colors. I really like how they mix together. I was afraid that the purple and the green would get a little muddy, and it really didn't, which I'm kind of surprised, just because they don't necessarily work together. But I'm just going, just to make sure everything's blended. I like it. I feel like the shadows, they really performed well. Maybe even a little better than I thought they were going to, because I've seen some pretty harsh critiques. I am gonna take Tanacon and just kind of go over the edge, just to kind of blur everything a little bit. I am waiting for Jeffree Star to do a nudes palette, because he has some of the absolute best nude colors. This Tanacon is beautiful. I'm sure this Diet Root Beer one's gonna be really pretty. Courtney in the Beauty Killer palette. Which other ones? The Cry on My Couch is pretty from this one. Courtney definitely is a standout, and there's also one that's really good in Blood Sugar as well. But I think that he does a really good formulation on those. So, or I'm hoping that in the release of individual shadows, that comes to be. Because I don't leave well enough alone, I am going to take some of this Ciate Eye Luster Cream Shadow, just for a little bit of extra glam. And this is that shadow. It's very reflective. I'm just gonna take this on a Sigma E25, and I'm gonna dab that right kind of in the area where those two shadows come together, and a little more over the top of the green. Because when in doubt, always add glitter. And I'm sure if I would have probably sprayed that green shadow, it probably would have had even more of this metallic feel to it. But I have all this makeup, so why not use all of it, right? Okay, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my foundation. And I am revisiting an old favorite. This is the BH Liquid Foundation Naturally Flawless. This is in the color Fair Golden, which I'm not golden, ever. I'm normally red or pale, but we're gonna go ahead and use this. And I had already primed, if you remember, so I'm just gonna kind of put this on with a foundation brush. This one is the Morphe brush. All right, so I'm just smoothing out that foundation. It goes on really well with the brush. Normally I only use a sponge to put on, but I find that that one is actually really pretty, and I think this foundation is like $4. So it's an oldie that I used to love, and it just kind of got lost in my collection, and with moving around the beauty room, I rediscovered her, so that always makes me happy. So for concealer, I'm going to be using the Flower Beauty, and this is in the shade Light, L3 to 4. I'm going to put one little dot of the Jeffree Star concealer. I don't want to use a whole lot of this because it can get a little thick, and I like that the The Flower Beauty is more of the luminous, but it's not, it's a little dark, as you can kind of see the difference. So I find I get a good result when I mix that. Normally I would be mixing it with my ColourPop, but apparently my ColourPop concealer is on vacation. I love how luminous that Flower Beauty concealer is. It looks so good. It always looks so good. I just wish that they could kind of get their color system a little better, because that's light. And I mean, that is definitely not light. And it oxidizes as well. So if you're looking for luminous, this is great, but just remember that this does oxidize. So lighter is probably going to be better. I really don't want to put a bunch of powder underneath my eyes, but I need to do my lower lash line. So I'm wondering how I cannot mess this up. Although, do I need, yeah, no, I need to do lower lash line. So I think for lower lash line, I'm gonna go a little more conservative. I'm not gonna put everything. I'm gonna first go in with that color, like you guys know. Oh, the color that I'm looking at, that's not very helpful. I'm gonna first go in with the color My Pills, which is like a pale, almost white pink. And just put that right underneath. Ooh, I really like that. It's a lot more vibrant than I thought it was going to be. It looks like it's almost like a flesh tone, but it does show up, but it ties in with that pink nicely, where it doesn't give you the sickly vibes that I normally get from using like a red. I'm gonna go in with the Not a Fact back on that Morphe E36, and I'm just gonna tuck this right over the lower lash, but I'm only putting it right out here in the outer corner. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave it because the colors are pretty bold, but I really like that, and I really want to keep the integrity of the under eyes, because they look really nice and hydrated right now. Because I really feel like we're just living on the edge today. I am going to go ahead and do some liquid liner. I'm probably not going to do a wing, because I typically don't wear wings a whole lot anyway. This is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster. This is in the waterproof one, and it is in Black is Black. This is amazing. Taylor Wynn, aka the Taylor, this is what she recommended using, and I tried it and I've never looked back. It's so good. Alright, so eyeliner is on. It is totally not perfect, because what always happens, I kind of went overboard, but it's okay, because I'm getting ready to put some eyelash in. For the love of God, I have not struggled with lashes like that in a really long time. These are Demi Wispies by Ardell, and this lash, if it goes flopping off like Rich Luxe style here shortly, it's gonna be, it is what it is, because it was a real pain in the patoot to get on. All right, so because I remembered to wet my sponge, I am going to use my CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I still have not gotten this as a regular concealer, but hopefully soon. I'm just gonna take a little baby bit of that on my fuzzy, what is this sponge called? Juno sponge, I think. And I'm gonna go right here just to kind of give my face a little bit of definition. And I am fully aware it's dark, I know, but it blends out like a dream. I have to say, I'm really digging my eye makeup. I kind of like that green. I'm glad I didn't do just like a silver. Alright, I'm just kind of taking what's left over just up and down the side of my nose for just a little slight nose contour. Alright, so I have not been setting my face a whole lot, so I just need a little bit of highlight because we can't go without it. Maybe some blush. I think that this blush right here will be very pretty. This is in the Sephora Blush Sculpting palette, and I don't even know if they make this palette anymore. And it looks a little more intimidating in the pan than it actually is. So, but if you're worried, once you get some on your brush, I always just kind of put a little bit on the back of my hand just to kind of see, okay, that's going to be about what I want. So that color ties in nicely. And it's not too over the top. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Essence, the Pure Nude highlighter. I have talked about this multiple times. If you don't have it, what are you doing with your life? You need it. And it's perfect because it is drugstore. It's amazing. I mean, practically perfect in every way. We should just rename it the Mary Poppins highlighter. All right, so I am gonna try to do something with this hair. Let's see. It's still pretty nice and wet, so, and I really hate doing heat, so I may actually just leave it. So this may be as good as it gets for you. For lips, what do I want to do for lips though? I'm gonna put some of this lip oil on. This is from NYX. This is Everything Lip Oil, and this is in the color Sheer Blush. I am gonna put this on just as like some hydration. My lips feel kind of dry. I'm gonna let this sit on while I figure out a lip to wear. All right, so maybe we're just gonna stay in the bold family. I think we're gonna take it there. This is the Iconic London. This is actually a lip plumping gloss, but I think I wanna try this. Normally not a huge gloss or even really like a bold color gloss, but this is really pretty. All right guys, so this is the finished look today using the Conspiracy palette. I am really pleased with the shadows that I used and the look that I was able to create. I think it's fun. I had no problems with any of the shadows that I used, which for me, that's kind of the expectation whenever I use something from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, because I have not really tried anything that I didn't like, except for the glosses. I'm not a fan of the glosses. I have not been able to get the regular gloss that was released with the Shane Dawson collection, but I will next time. Next time I will get that gloss. His other glosses, they're great to use over like a liquid lip, but I like using glosses just like I use this one, just right on my lips and out the door. So I hope that you enjoyed today's semi chit chat. Get ready with me. I know I don't do a whole lot of chatting because I just get so in the zone, but if you enjoyed this look, please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the button or the bell button, so that you can be notified of my future uploads. And thank you so much for your continued support, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.